The man's name is John. He swung a sledgehammer, driven by a seething anger, and smashed it wildly onto the floor of his own house. After removing the cement, he opened a box that had been sealed for years. Inside, the weapons and gold coins were neatly arranged. He used to be a top-notch hitman. After having the blood of more than 100 people on his hands, he chose to retire from that life. Now, for the sake of a dog, he decided to return to his former self. One day, John went to refuel his beloved car as usual. A young man with blonde hair stopped him and tried to buy his car at a low price. John refused resolutely and drove away. The blonde-haired young man harbored a deep grudge. At night, the barking of the dog woke John up. He went downstairs to check, but was knocked down by a club from behind. To make matters worse, the blonde-haired young man killed the dog left to John by his wife with a single blow of the club. In their momentary elation, they had no idea what kind of person they had provoked. They drove John's car to the vehicle modification factory, run by the subordinates of the blonde-haired young man's father to show off. However, the boss recognized the car at a glance. His expression grew tense, and he asked them if they had killed the car owner. Upon learning that they had only killed the dog, the boss punched the blonde-haired young man right away. The boss knew clearly that even though the blonde-haired young man's father was the leader of the mafia, it was not certain that he could protect his son this time. After learning that his son had stolen the car and killed the dog, the mafia boss immediately called his subordinates to question them. He also understood that his son had gotten himself into serious trouble. He summoned his son and punched him as soon as they met. His son seemed completely indifferent to it, but the mafia boss knew all too well that John would surely come for revenge. So he decided to strike first. 12 assassins sneaked into John's house under the cover of night. On the other side, John learned from the store manager that the blonde-haired young man was the son of the mafia boss and realized that taking revenge would be extremely difficult. But the dog left by his wife was his Achilles heel, and he had to avenge its death. He put on a suit, picked up a gun, turned off the lights, and waited quietly for the assassins to come. With his skills that remained as sharp as they had been in his prime, he took out half of the assassins with just one magazine of bullets, and the rest couldn't escape the same fate.